There's a look at the officials. Spooner, Javy, and Baden.
There's a look at Karl Malone, Mr. Inside for the Utah Jazz. And Mr. Outside is Jeff Malone. He's come in and he's done an excellent job for the Utah Jazz. Jeff shooting 51% after kind of a shaky start, averaging a little better than 19 points per game. So he really does supply a lot of offense to an offense that is already powerful with Stockton and Karl Malone in it.
3 starters in double figures. Tonight's tip-off brought to you by Miller High Life. The best comes shining through. Bowl against Eaton. They flail at it, and the tap won by the Utah Jazz. Sellout here at the Salt Palace as we're underway. Stockton quickly to the baseline, runs along it. Kicks it out. Malone, jumper.
John Stockton needed just 8 assists coming into tonight's game to move him into 15th place ahead of Dennis Johnson.
All time.
Yes, all time. Of course, Stockton has only played in 519 games compared to 1,100 for Dennis Johnson, so big difference there.
Charles will get to the free throw line here. And the foul charged to Blue Edwards as Charles pump faked him into the air.
Going to be a lot of pressure on Charles Barkley this evening, as it has been, I guess you could say, for the course of this entire road trip, to produce offensively for the Philadelphia 76ers without the offense of Mike Gminski.
And the bench shortened a bit now, as Jimmy Lanham only has, 5 players on the bench.
Yeah, minutes are, it's going to be important to take a look at, see how many guys are playing 35 to 40 minutes tonight or more.
Pick and roll. No, but the follow by Malone. Real man delivered that time as he went up in traffic and pounded it home. Barkley against Edwards. Drives inside, goes up and scores, and no foul.
What strength by Charles Barkley as 2 guys had their hands on the ball. He was able to pull it through Blue Edwards and Karl Malone's hand and still get it off the glass.
Charles 4, Jazz 4. Stockton in the air. Eaton again, wheels in on Bull, missed it short. Rebound, blocked, and a late whistle, but a call. Traveling on Eaton, who was going to pound it back home, but tried to gather himself and traveled with it. 2 of the biggest players in the NBA squared off in the middle. Bull at 7'7" and Eaton at 7'6".
Eaton's got a little more weight on him, though. It's Karl Malone definitely lost Rick Mahorn on that. Rick was wide open underneath. Karl fell asleep defensively.
6-4. Sixers lead by 2.
Or did Rick give him a quick move?
Jeff Malone, and he buries that. Percy Hawkins for Ricky Green. Charles cranks up a 3, missed that, and the rebound. Stockton at the top against Ricky Green. Edwards, and he traveled.
Yep.
He
caught the ball. Hersey Hawkins came out, gave a little hop, skip, and a jump. Referee was right on top of it, and that's the second time the Utah Jazz have been called for a walk.
Stockton and Green should be an interesting matchup because those 2 were teammates here in Utah. Jumper, Hersey, no. Rebound tapped out by Manute into the hands of Ricky Green. He lost it. Here comes Blue Edwards. Palmed it, but no call. Shovels. Malone will finish. But when he dunks it, he does dunk it.
Authority. With authority, yes.
Shot clock still shaking. Not from that one, from the one before.
Those are some of those ones that you used to see Daryl Dawkins dunk with when the backboard would shake for 30 seconds or so.
Charles from outside, and he drains that. And Charles on this trip has been making his outside shot.
Well, he's been making pretty much everything on this trip. He's averaging, 36 points per game. Shooting 63%. That's not too shabby.
Jeff Malone, Eaton out battles Manute for the rebound. And And the Jazz get a second try here. Stockton directing traffic. Karl Malone to the baseline. Good ball movement to Stockton, off target. The rebound tapped around, and Manute controls it in the middle. An 8-8 tie. Hersey against Jeff Malone. Green and Stockton. Hersey pulled the trigger quickly and scored.
It's going to be very important for Hawk to get off also. They got to continue to find scoring out of somebody other than Hersey Hawkins and Charles Barkley. And it's going to be very important, obviously, to have scoring out of those two players themselves because they are the heart of the offense.
Posted Edwards against Barkley. Spins, goes up high off the glass and scores. Nice move by Edwards. 10-10 tie. Utah would prefer more of an up-tempo than with the Sixers, especially playing here at home. Green from outside, heel of the rim, rebound, Edwards. A ton in the air.
You aren't kidding. He got way up there for a guy 6'5".
Malone, 16-footer, nothing but net.
You know,
his game, I was just going to say, Steve, his game, you know he can get it done inside, but each year he's gotten a little better with his outside shot.
Well, I was reading an article today. His rookie year, he was shooting almost like 50% from the free throw line. To show you how far he's come, he's shooting 74% now. So his game has really started to evolve. And
there's a collision between Charles Barkley and Karl Malone underneath, and you can hear that all the way down here.
A couple big guys going for the rebound right there. Take a look. The shot goes up. Rick Mahorn gets by Mark Eaton. Shot goes up. Charles is underneath. Malone comes over. Whop! Gets him on the arm. But I was getting ready to say about Karl Malone that only one time in his career that he's averaged under 20 points and 10 rebounds, and that was his rookie year. And Charles Barkley is the same way.
12-11, Jazz by 1. And Charles can knot the ball game again. Missed it, but it slapped right back to him. Fires a 20-footer, missed that, and the rebound snapped down by Karl Malone. Kind of an interesting stat monitor we have here.
Yeah, that's a good one, huh? Totally blank.
Stockton looking for Malone and an offensive foul, and that's 2 on Karl Malone very quickly.
Rick Mahorn got away with it, and you can see Rick smiling. He just turned and started walking down the court. He just reached around and grabbed Karl Malone and started pulling him back to the basket. See Javi on that one. Saw Karl Malone just kind of shrug his shoulders back and thought it was an offensive foul, but Rick had a big smile on his face and said, "Boy, I'm glad they got 2 on that guy."
And Karl Malone tried to tell Jerry Sloan, "Hey, I'll be all right. Don't substitute for me." And there's a technical foul on Karl Malone, who apparently was talking to Javi as well as Jerry Sloan. Let's see what we got here. Going to be a timeout for Utah. Well, they sort it out, but a technical definitely on Karl Malone. 6:49 left to play first quarter. The Jazz lead by 1, 12-11. We'll be right back. Do we have a cough switch anywhere?
Nope. This is tight. Who did this? Amazing. Are these sent overnight to you, David? Are they?
That looks like a. That's the first one in the. Yeah, it's the first one.
This is brand new. Somebody got a new typewriter. All right. Hi, Neil.
He must have typed it too, because
Yeah.
it's a short one.
Short.
Concise and to the point.
And all the work. Well, all the words are spelled right, so David or Neil must have typed it.
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah, right. Good thought.
remember, fans, to turn out for the to the Spectrum on Monday, January 7th, when the Philadelphia 76ers take on David Robinson and the San Antonio Spurs. For ticket information, call 336-2000.
A lot of great basketball coming up at the Spectrum, and as we speak of the Spectrum, Steve Mix and myself, along with our producer Dave Getz, send along our best wishes to Sixers PR director Zach Hill, who's back in Philadelphia and underwent some surgery, and we hope he's getting along well and feeling all right and enjoying tonight's ball game. Our best to you, Zach. The technical free throw was good. And it's 12-12, and the Sixers now put it in play offensively. The technical was on Karl Malone. Mike Brown is checked in for Malone. And here's a 24-second violation. And the Sixers asleep at the switch that time. Did not have 24 seconds.
There's only 11 seconds on the shot clock when the referees gave Karl Malone the technical.
And there's a little hook just dumped in by Mark Eaton.
They're looking to go to him tonight, aren't they? That's his third shot, and normally he doesn't get more than 4 or 5 shots during the course of the whole ballgame.
Maybe they want to get it over with early.
That's right. Then then they can concentrate.
Outside Hersey, a line drive that rattles around and drops. 14-14 tie. 6 in the game for Hersey. Stockton to a wide open Edwards, and he drills that baseline 15-footer. We just trade basket for basket here in the first period. 5:52 left. Hawkins against Jeff Malone. Charles trying to post. Batted away by Stockton, but run down by Ricky Green.
Good double team that time by the Utah Jazz. Stockton getting down there quickly.
Green 4 on the shot clock at very long range. 2, 1 has to force it up, and an air ball. It's picked out of the air. Back-to-back 24-second violations by the Sixers. Phil Johnson told me before the game, Steve, he said, we want to be selective when we double. We want to do, I think they're going to try to do a lot of what Phoenix did and a lot of what LA and Seattle did, which is not double every time on Charles, just be selective in it. And with that philosophy of our 12 can outscore, in this case, your 10. Stockton, no. Eaton kept it alive, tapped it out, but Ricky Green picked it up. Charles runs in on Stockton and an offensive foul on Charles.
Disagree with that.
I do too.
Charles Barkley made a move right to left. Stockton was able to move over in front of Charles, but he was still moving when he got hit by Charles Barkley. Take a look at it. He stops there, changes position. He's still moving. Plus, he wasn't set.
Well, you're not going to win your argument, though.
No, I mean, I can give my opinion, but I'm not going to win the argument. There's no question about that.
Stockton. Edwards spins, fires, nothing but net again. 18-14, the Jazz with their biggest lead of the game at 4 points. Hersey for a 3, kaboom! Hersey right in front of Jerry Sloan for 3, and that draws the Sixers back to within 1. 9 in the game for Hersey, first quarter. Stockton. Stockton from outside, short again. He's had a tough night early going. Hersey Hawkins wheeled by him behind his back. And Ricky Green shut off at the baseline, has to walk it back out.
Good move by Ricky Green, though.
Manute.
Bad shot by Manute Bol.
And
Manute wanted a shot.
Edwards runs it up. Jeff Malone, fall away, not there, tapped once, twice, 3 times, and finally Ricky Green runs it down. Charles against Eaton. Wheels along the baseline, blocked by it. In the hands of Edwards, and now Stockton. Baseline, Jeff Malone, in and out. Rebound tapped out, poked up in the air, controlled by Jeff Malone. Stockton, wide open baseline. Short again, and the rebound Manute. Stockton's been short about 4 times. He's 0 for 4. Rick Mahorn, he's short.